Hi everyone, thanks for checking out my channel. I'm going to have a look at WTI crude oil and look at what happened last week and what we could set as a trading plan for next week. So yeah, let's get started. So looking at the various different arguments, I'm going to start with the bullish ones. Starting with the first, that's in increasing demand. So we've seen that through a major stockpile withdrawal last week, so definitely pointing to demand increasing, but also having the production still running relatively low with many rigs still off, and yes, so that's definitely putting some floor to the price and supporting the move higher. So when we look at the chart now, so for last week we don't have the quote report data yet, so we'll have to wait until probably Monday for the release, but still we can see that what happened was from that point at 38 we gapped down on Monday morning, dropped to that trend line. That's been working very well recently, since that low at 34 came into support. Then we got here buyer stepping in, setting up a higher low, and then we moved up for the week pretty much up to that new trend line that's been set now and accumulating underneath, so finishing at roughly $40. So significant move up. So I was trading looking for a breakdown much lower, something like this. Moving up, I was looking at 39 as a resistance for this to break the trend line and go down to the target at 34. So obviously that didn't happen. The move was quite powerful around 39, so there was no point opening short on this, and the right trade would have been to open long here and keep it for the week and edging potentially on that divergence we got at 40. But it was a bit tricky because the range is not actually that big, so yeah, I missed on that long opportunity and made a bit of a profit on the shorting that level at 40, dropped down to 39.2 and didn't buy back, waiting to see what would happen higher on the new 40 test. So it got rejected, but still accumulating. So I believe from that point of view, and having the daily 20 MA in supports down here, so it's running at the moment around 38.4, and also that trend line, but also having a bit higher the daily 200 MA that's running at 44, that we can definitely look at more upside on WTI in the coming week, potentially 2 weeks, and I'm still looking now at properly drawn wolf wave that I didn't get right last week, but I believe that one now is a bit more obvious. So going from point 1 to here, I think I did draw that one in my midweek review or checkpoint, going down here, and now we would be in the last leg. So to me that's bullish, because very likely we are going to go to a new higher high, but keeping in mind that this is a rising pennant that I could be acting as a reversal figure should it actually break down. So the trade for next week, I'll go through it later, but will be bullish in my opinion. I still run through the bearish arguments because we still need to keep them in mind, because we're trading the last leg up, or potential last leg up, so it could break down also, and then we could have an acceleration to the downside should that happen. So we still need to keep that in mind with position size and keeping stop loss not too far away. Looking at the bearish argument, so the US production is actually ramping up, and Russia has been talking about reducing cuts as from next month, if I'm right, or even starting in July. So that could weigh onto the price. Is it enough to trigger a move down from here? I don't believe so, but I will actually put some sailing potentially a bit higher, probably in that area. I think 43. I believe the 200 MA is running somewhere there. Yes, it's going down here, so currently at 44. So that's what I was putting as a bullish argument, because usually when you tend to get close to the 200 MA, the daily chart, you actually tend to get to it. So to me it's a bullish, but of course when we'll get there it will be a bearish thing, because many quite likely will sell off on that level, if not before. So to me that's definitely bearish in terms of the production. Also we're still having the continuous fall in open interest on last week, so we didn't have the quote report. We could check the CME group data, and we could see that it keeps on dropping. So it's been like this for weeks. To me that's end of trend or end of move meaning, but still at the moment it doesn't actually materialize on the chart by any significant pullback, and still keep going up with clearly higher high and higher low. So we're waiting for another higher high, and I think it's probably fair to go and trade this. Also in terms of bearish, we're still having a daily divergence in place that be careful with. So we made another touch here, but I don't believe that we will not actually break it, and we are likely to see a move up and invalidating that daily divergence to go and set another one higher. But still keeping that in mind, that could be something that could actually put pressure onto the price as well. Rising pennant, I mentioned it before. We can see it really clearly. That's moving up like this, but that trend line at the top doesn't have the same slope that the one at the bottom. So that's potential reversal figure. Longer term, should we get to that level at 43, potentially a bit higher, that we could expect move down, trade that wolf wave down here between 0.1 and 4. We would have an objective, potentially even going a little bit lower here, and going and test that 32, between 32 and 33 level. Then we will see what could happen after this. And yes, something I didn't actually mention, and that's to me also bullish for now, but that will turn bearish very soon, is the Fibonacci retracement from the entire move down. I'll just cut this. Let's just disregard the large drop we had below. I believe, yes. So we see the 61.8, which is the major level for Fibonacci. Fibonacci, actually the only one that's actually meaningful, is running also at 43.7. So similar to the 200 MA on the daily chart that's running there. So that will be a magnetic area from here, and I doubt we are going to actually see any breakdown from that level. So moving a bit closer in terms of the scenario for next week, I'm gonna trade only one thing, is bullish. I don't intend to actually short WTI next week. What I'm waiting for is on Monday, a bit similar to what we got last week. Get rid of this. Display the trend line. Yes, so I think that 39.2 or somewhere there will be strong resistance, but I believe we're gonna get some counter trend trading earlier in the week, profit taking as well, potentially down to 39, this area, and then either we're going to accumulate a bit or break straight higher. We're gonna get some resistance at 41, so it could be something like this, then retesting the trend line for finally going to the final target here. So is it going to happen next week or the week after? Hard to say. It will basically depend on the various data about the production. If we still see some stockpile withdrawal significantly, then it will definitely push the price. Should we see the S&P 500 breaking higher, that will help as well to break higher, but I believe at that level 42, 43 will be major resistance, and we'll be ready to definitely exit long position, but start accumulating some more important short position to benefit from this. 43 down to 33, that's a significant down move, and I believe that could be definitely rewarding should it actually work that way. Of course, from that level, just before I finish, it is not impossible that we see a breakout that could actually take us much higher should it go that way, but at the moment the fundamentals and everything is not actually giving that scenario a lot of probability. So we will see. Should we see a major divergence here continuing on the daily, to me it will be a sign that we're going to reverse, especially with that rising pennant figure. Should we not see that and continuous accumulation under 43 with a clear breakout, no divergence, volume and everything, then that figure will be invalidated. Then we will have to change our strategy and move too long to catch some higher points. But again, I think that's too early to say which scenario will be the preferred one, but short term that will be what I'm gonna trade for next week. Hopefully we are not going to break out here, because that would be at 40.5, a bit high to enter long, a bit mid-range, so I wouldn't like this too much. So hopefully we'll move a bit down early on Monday, so we can actually set for nice long entry. That's all for WTI. Wish you safe trading, and yeah, any comment please share. I will make another video which is a bit more general about what I mean by targets and all that technical analysis and what it means. It's by no means signal trading intention. So for example, if I'm saying here that I'm expecting 39.3 to buy, doesn't mean that anybody should put an auto buy signal or something here at that level and just wait for this, go enter long, wait for the target to reach 42 and then exits. That might not work that way. The price action will have to be watched. The news as well could impact whatever could happen here, and the price can always do whatever it wants and break lower. Should that be the case, of course, it would be a very bad idea to have just an auto buy on this without looking at the price action. So, but I make a video explaining further what I mean by technical analysis, and that it's not something that should be taken just like this without any further analysis. So yeah, that's about it for today. Again, wish you safe trading, success, and I speak to you soon. Cheers, bye.